Hi folks, you join us here today in wonderful West Yorkshire where we've come to see good friend of the channel Tony and his beautiful, I mean just look at it, beautiful Aston Martin DB7.
And what an underrated Aston Martin this one is. So, welcome to Drivers Keepers. So Tony, nice to meet you.
And you?
So tell me about this Aston Martin DB7 because I understand it's got some special features on.
The chap who had it built commissioned it. It was commissioned and it was done by Aston Martin Works. At that time they were doing the driving dynamics and visual dynamic package, which is the visual is the spoilers down front and back, the side spoilers and the alloy wheels, magnesium wheels. The driving dynamics is the suspension,
Right.
brakes and the sports exhaust, which really gives it a right noise. Also, because he was using it to travel down to the south of France, he didn't want the back seats in.
Right.
So
I can guess why, for the
Yeah.
south of France.
So in order to fetch his wine back and his champagne back, he had the back seats taken out, and Aston Martin came up with the conversion that it's got now, so that luggage could be strapped into the back.
Got you.
I mean, most of the Aston Martins anyway, it's very rare that people, unless they've got little children, can actually use the back seats.
Yeah. What I find interesting, I was saying to Simon on the way up here, it's such an underrated car, isn't it? Compared to, everybody focuses on the Astons, on the DB9s,
Yeah.
but the DB7 was always kind of never really rated for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like everybody says that, well, it's just a Jaguar with a different coat on. And to some extent it is, but it's the development of the DB7
Yeah.
as it started. That's sort of like the Jaguar gave it the springboard to achieve what they've achieved now. The i6, I think, is better than the big V12s, etc.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's more original and it's the old style Aston Martin.
Because this was built in Newport Pagnell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was this one of the last models built in Newport Pagnell?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's got the works prepared badges on it.
Right.
So it was a special edition one.
Right, got you. And then I understand production went to Bloxham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is where they built the XJ220s. Yeah, it's incredible, so much history. But this one especially, I know when Simon mentioned he'd met you, as you say, it's got so many different little features on it. And what I noticed as well was those magnesium wheels, which really look the part. And that's part of this dynamics package, you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with the wheels were put on with the actual brake discs. They're enormous brake discs, 36 millimetres wide,
Right, got you.
which can be a bit of a pain.
Yeah. So how often do you use it now? I know you mentioned that not so much.
Yeah, I mean, we have it taxed from May through till end of October, November. It depends, because where we live, they start gritting the roads.
Yeah, they do.
So we try not to take it out when the roads are being gritted.
And it was fully restored when it came back from the south of France, you were saying
Yeah, I
earlier?
mean, it's sort of like it ended up in the south of France for 10, 12 years. It then came back, and the lad who had it commissioned was such a fastidious owner. He dropped it into Bamford Rose, and they did a full refurb on it. Because of the heat down in the south of France, all the rubbers on the door seals, the windows, etc., all had to be replaced.
Got you.
They decided to go for a full respray on it.
Which is interesting. Sorry to interrupt you, but the colour, because I've never seen this colour on Aston.
Yeah.
So tell me about the colour.
The colour, we couldn't find where it came from because Aston don't recognise it as a colour. It's called Rio Verde on the log sheet. And we've since found out that Vauxhall did a Rio Verde colour in the 90s, and the Vauxhall Corsa was actually done in it, and a few more Vauxhalls. And we think that's where possibly he saw the colour
Right.
and decided that he wanted it on his Aston Martin.
But it does look stunning.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
really does.
everybody who sees it, even Aston Martin drivers and owners, they all say it stands out, it makes it totally different.
No, stunning. Really is.
Tell you a little story. When he received it, he was driving down to London on a meeting one weekend. In the bike, he'd got his golf clubs in his briefcase. Petrol tank developed a leak and it sprayed petrol all into the boot. All onto his golf club bag and all onto his briefcase. Aston Martin recovered it, took it back to the works, did the repair, and when he came to pick it up, they'd replaced his golf bag with an Aston Martin special build one, what they'd had specially made, and also the briefcase.
And you've kept it ever since?
Yeah, it's part of the history of the car.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, they all need to go together. So, Tony, how long have you had it?
It'll be coming up next month, it'll be 6 years. At that time, I was just getting ready to retire, so decided, need something for retirement to play with. And went down to John Holland in Sheffield,
Oh, yeah?
who has some beautiful motors down there. And we actually went to look at an XK Jag, but this one was parked up outside and it had just come in. And as soon as we saw it, it just stood out. Just stands out against the Jaguar. It's something different.
Absolutely.
At the end of August, the DB7 Appreciation Society have asked us to take it down to British Motor Museum because it's the 30th anniversary. So what they're after is getting every model of the Aston Martin DB7 on show. They're looking into the cars and doing a certificate one-off. Might be one of 100, one of 50, one of 30. And from the feedback I've had up to now, it looks like this is going to be a one of one.
That's great. So you've had it 6 years now, Tony. What makes you so passionate about the DB7?
I think on this one, it's the actual style of it. You can put it against other vehicles and it just stands out. It's very similar to how people feel about the E-Type Jaguar. For people wanting to get into the classic cars, this one really is a beginner's one because you can pick them up around £15,000.
Is that right? 15 grand?
15. Mine won't work on them, but the basics are there. A lot of the parts are Jaguar, Ford, the backlights, wing mirrors, a Mazda, so you can find the parts.
Yeah. So I guess if you bought one for around about that, you're not talking huge money to make it into a...
Yeah, I mean, sort of like if you did a lot of the work yourself or you knew an engineer, then it wouldn't cost you that much. And then on the top side of it, for a really good one, you'd be talking 25 to 30,000, where everything's done and it's the bee's knees.
But what's... there's so much car for the money there,
Well, this
isn't
is
there?
it,
And
sort
so
of
much
like- yeah.
heritage.
You drive down the street and somebody will think, oh, £50,000 car.
Yeah, of course they will.
Listen to that. It's a proper cruiser, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think you should take it back to the south of France, mate. I think you should put a beautiful green suitcase in there and go and have a jolly. So did you have something before this that was like an interesting daft car that you kept just for fun?
No, we always used to have sports cars and that.
Yeah.
Probably the first one I had was definitely in the 70s.
Right.
And that was a Reliant Scimitar.
Oh,
SE5.
Oh, I always wanted a Scimitar.
Yeah.
With the mag wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
And it was the metallic purple one.
Oh, Tony.
So we had that one.
Was it a nice car?
Yeah, really nice.
Right.
Until we nearly wrote it off.
Oh.
It was up in Doncaster.
Right.
And I wanted to check the tyres on it. So I pulled into this garage and the tyre pressure gauge was in front of the workshop.
Right.
And just inside the workshop,
yeah,
was the ramp. And just in front of the ramp was a Ford Escort.
Okay.
So I started blowing the tyres up and I couldn't reach one of the tyres. So I just started the car up and sort of like half got in the car to pull it forward. It shot forward.
Oh no.
Hit the back of this Escort, knocked it over the ramps.
Oh no.
Mechanic came out and said, I've just serviced that.
Oh dear. And that was a fiberglass body?
Yeah. So what they did, they cut it right back halfway up the wings and repaired it.
Wow.
But once it's done like that, get rid.
Okay.
You know, it's got to be perfect, really.
Yeah.
Should we blast him again?
Yeah. Oh, hey, up. It's fast, isn't it? It's fast. That surprised me. See, I'm used to driving my 430 up here, and I'm not wishing to be rude. I'm clenching my butt cheeks because I'm thinking it's gonna scrape on these.
Well, mine was just there.
Ah, that was perfect.
Another spurt.
No, let's just keep him. He was saying he couldn't keep up before. Let's just keep him close behind because it's nice to get the back end of the car on the move.
Oh yeah, when you use it drop down, it can fly.
Yeah, absolutely. See, supercharged.
Yeah.
Right. Don't think I've ever driven anything with a supercharger on before. Is there a characteristic, you know, like with the turbo, you get turbo lag, or
No, not really.
just extra?
It's just
grunt?
it's there.
Yeah, nice. So do you think it's a keeper?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in winter when I'm working in garage or doing anything, it just stands there.
Yeah.
You know, it is a work of art at the end of the day.
I very happily go and sit in my garage, especially in the winter, like say when you're not got access to it, and just take a cup of tea out or whatever, and just have a little sit, look at it.
Oh, crikey, they're comfy.
I know, that's what I said when I got in.
hell.
I'm going for clutch pedal already. That's a nice view down the bonnet, wowzers.
Yeah, I love that hump in the bonnet.
Yeah. This colour as well on the daylight
Yeah.
today just works well, doesn't it? All the reflections.
So Simon, DB7, what do you think? You've only been driving it 250 yards. But
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm dropping that straight on me.
what's your first impressions?
These literally our first impressions.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
It's really comfy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this on a few of the videos, but you would easily jump in this and think, right, let's go to the south of France.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you?
Which is exactly where this particular car went so many times. But yeah, I love these. You said the curve and the long bonnet.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a difference from mine.
It's a very special looking car, isn't it? I mean, you can see from
It
the
is.
footage that we've taken.
And again, as I said at the beginning of the video, you know, it's so underrated as well, the DB7.
Yeah. But it feels special in here.
And it's a lot, yeah, it's a huge amount of car for the money. I mean, look at the interior.
Yeah.
Really, really comfy seats.
55,990 miles.
Right.
Right, we're going to overtake some. Here we go. Thank you.
You know, that old cliche gentleman's express.
It definitely
But this is, isn't it?
Just need a tweed jacket,
Yeah.
cravat.
A bit of pipe, a bit of
I've got a pipe, so
St. Bruno's tobacco.
I actually do smoke a pipe every now and then.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
You're joking.
No, straight up.
But I really like that space in the boot, which is in the back.
This, yeah,
which
no
is
back
where
seat.
the back seats
It's like
would have been.
It's reminiscent of the 550 Maranello, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the luggage straps. It's very classy. That.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think you're going to like this sound when you get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It is it's relaxing is what it's like. It's a little bit like having a massage while you're driving. The seats are comfy, the feedback through the steering wheel's lovely. It's just, you just waft along.
So, hate to say it, what would you criticise about it?
Well, I would prefer a manual, but I get why an auto works in this kind of
car, yeah.
GT setup, absolutely.
Power?
Supercharged. First time I've driven anything with a supercharger. First time I've driven an Aston Martin, actually, of any description. Yeah, when I booted it then, it picked up its skirts and it went. It wasn't like, ooh. But I think Tony must have done something different, because when he booted it earlier, geez Louise, it went off like a stabbed rat, as you would say.
Well, I couldn't keep up in that Porsche Cayenne of yours behind, so...
I might try again up past the windmills. He maybe did more of a kick down, I don't know. It surprised me how fast it was. So on the little bit of acceleration I've just done, I'd say yeah, maybe it could be a bit faster, but when Tony did it, plenty fast. If this is what I was after, I can't see anything that I wouldn't like here. You know, I can't see anything that would put me off buying it.
Yeah.
Or wanting it, because it's this, looking down at the dials. God, the dials are so classy. Right, let's nail it. Yeah, we're spoiled for power and punch. So it's got to get up and go, absolutely.
But you've got to get your foot down.
Yeah, but it hasn't got Lamborghini and Ferrari get up and go, which is fine. We're not comparing it to that at all. It's doing that thing that cars do, in that it turns up with a new interior as a new car and everyone goes, oh, that's beautiful, and then it goes through a phase of everyone thinking, oh, it's looking a bit dated, and you know, you need the new model now, you should probably go and get a DB9, and now it's easing into that classic car thing where I don't mind this,
without a shadow of a doubt.
I think this interior is aging nicely. I think it looks it looks very classic.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Tony himself mentioned about it's got like quite a lot of Ford bits on, which the DB7 did have. Yeah, Mazda rear lights and all sorts of other bits from different parts bins. But I don't think that detracts from it in the slightest.
No. And Ford bits are obviously known for being absolutely rubbish. Oh no, wait, they're super reliable. Well, so if you've got a cabin full of Ford bits, not a bad thing.
No.
Yeah, very nice. It does what it does very well. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And it does feel like an event in here, doesn't it? It feels like you go for a drive. It's a sense of occasion. You know, you're in something special.
You do. You do.
Right, my friend, you gonna have a go?
Yeah, let's have a go.
Okay.
Tony mentioned when I was talking to him earlier that the brake pedal's huge, and it's absolutely enormous. He was saying he even might get it cut down because he finds it so big, and also the accelerator pedal is narrow, but oddly, it's very much below the level of the brake pedal, isn't it?
Oh, that's weird positioning, isn't it? Yeah, I've got to say, I didn't notice. I didn't feel.
Well, when you move your foot along, there's a huge difference in level between the brake pedal and the accelerator. But yeah, you're right. Already, it just feels like just a nice wafting.
Yeah.
Typically Aston Martin.
Makes a nice sound, doesn't it?
It does make a nice sound, but it's what you'd expect. You certainly don't want something that's too in your face for a car of this.
No. You don't want shouty like our cars.
No, definitely not. And of course this was based on the, I mean this is what people say against the DB7, that it's too much of the XK, is it XK8?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Jag.
Yeah. But again, that's a bit like saying, oh, I've had too much champagne. That was a nice car. Why wouldn't you want a bit of XK8?
No, exactly. But
it was beautiful.
I think there are certain snobs in the car world which will sniff at it.
Snobs in the car world? Surely not,
well,
so.
Exactly.
I'm guessing it doesn't bring back any memories of your DBS.
No, it doesn't. The DBS is totally different.
Yeah.
Completely in every way, but it still gives you that lovely, you know, I can't describe it.
Britishness?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It rides nice on these. I mean, these are not great roads.
These are awful roads.
And it rides pretty well, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a nice place to be.
So folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Another episode. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Give us another watch next time and look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for watching. Bye.